Pack your bags, crocheters, because today we are heading out on a whirlwind adventure to 6 local yarn shops. At each shop, I'm looking for 2 different things. First of all, I want to know what the most popular yarn is in that entire store, and I also want to know what the owner's favorite yarn is. I can't wait. Okay, now I feel really dizzy. That was a bad idea. Let's go! Bye.
Bye. Have a good day.
Okay.
Yarn crawling.
This is all part of the 16th annual Charlotte Area Yarn Crawl, and there are 6 shops that are participating. Now, I wish they were all super close together, but they're not. So there's going to be a good bit of driving today, and I'm actually going to clock my miles to see how far I will drive to be able to go to all of these shops. I've got almost a full tank of gas. I got an audiobook to listen to, so let's hit the road. I've got about a block from my house, and I'm pretty sure I forgot my phone at home, so we're going back because I need those directions. And how am I supposed to listen to my audiobook if I don't have my phone? We are here at our first stop, and this is the cutest little downtown area. I cannot wait for you to see this shop.
Hey, welcome to Tangles. We're halfway through the yarn crawl, and Elise is here with us today, and we are so happy to have her. Come on in and enjoy the tour.
If you're looking for true Southern hospitality, look no further than Tangles Knitting on Main in Waxhaw, North Carolina. This charming shop is tucked into the heart of historic downtown, and from the moment you step inside, you're greeted with warmth and a cozy, welcoming atmosphere. The shelves are thoughtfully organized, and I was genuinely impressed by the wide selection of yarns they carry, from everyday workhorse staples to specialty skeins that feel like little treasures. When I visited, the shop was buzzing with their weekly gathering, knitters and crocheters filling the space with laughter and conversation. Elizabeth, the owner, has created something truly special here, not just a yarn shop, but a community hub, and that's one of the wonderful things about local yarn shops. They don't just sell yarn, they build friendships and connections. I bought 2 different yarns while at Tangles, and the first is the most popular yarn in the store, and that's Knitting for Olive. I got their merino, which is a scrumptious fingering weight merino wool, and I got the colors Ballerina, Dusty Rose, and Wild Berries. The second yarn is one of Elizabeth, the owner's favorites, and that's Moonshine by Juniper Moon. This is a number 4 worsted blend of 40% alpaca, 40% wool, and 20% silk. I got this beautiful cream color and baby blue, and I wish you could put your hand through the screen to feel how soft it is. That was so much fun. The owner, Elizabeth, was so gracious, so kind, and this little yarn shop, it just feels like you are in a Gilmore Girls episode. It's just so charming, so sweet. This whole little town is just adorable. So if you ever come down to Waxhaw, North Carolina, make sure to go to Tangles on Main. But it's time to hit the next shop, and we've got a bit of a drive ahead of us. If you've ever come home from a yarn crawl or just a trip to a local yarn shop with a bag full of new yarn and thought, what am I actually going to make with this? You are not alone. And that's where today's sponsor, Creative Crochet Corner, comes in. They've got thousands of video classes for every skill level, from brand new beginners to seasoned crocheters, all designed to help you make the most of the yarn you bring home. And sometimes you don't want to commit to a big project, you just want something quick, relaxing, and a chance to learn a brand new crochet stitch. And that's why I just watched their Moss Stitch class by Brenda KB Anderson, and it is perfect. The class is about 8.5 minutes long, and Brenda teaches you exactly how to make the moss stitch, and it was so much fun. And if you're feeling inspired by some of the yarns that I discovered on the yarn crawl, Creative Crochet Corner also has classes on color work, stitch techniques, and even pattern reading, so you'll never run out of ideas for how to use your new skeins. And the best part, the first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the description box will get a full year of premium membership for only $1.49. That's unlimited access to every class, every project, and even live events where you can ask questions in real time. Whether you just came home from a yarn crawl like I did, or you just want to use up some of your stash, Creative Crochet Corner will help you turn every single skein into something you truly love. A huge thank you to Creative Crochet Corner for sponsoring today's video.
Starting route to the fiber studio at Yarns to dive for. Head west on West North Main Street.
We are here at the next yarn shop, and this one is very different from every other shop that we're going to visit.
Hello, welcome to the Fiber Studio. We're in Charlotte, North Carolina, and what makes us different is, as a dye studio, everything we have, we dye on site.
The Fiber Studio at Yarns to Die For is not your typical local yarn shop. Visiting here feels more like a field trip for fiber enthusiasts. The lines are walled with the most gorgeous hand-dyed yarns, but what really makes this shop unique is that they invited us behind the scenes into their dye studio to see their process up close. Each yarn is thoughtfully sourced from sustainable farms around the globe, and the variety is incredible. You won't just find wool and alpaca here, you'll discover fibers made from camel, cashmere, yak, silk, and more. It's the kind of place that expands your whole idea of what yarn can be.
So this is our newest base. It's a Surrey alpaca.
Okay.
And it's a DK weight. And what makes ours special is Debbie had this custom milled because she wanted it to be equally thick and fluffy. You know, this is a lot like visiting a petting zoo. Yeah. And the camel in this case is what provides that really soft halo.
The behind the scenes tour absolutely fascinated me. I learned that when dyeing protein-based fibers like wool, the dye bonds so completely that the water remains clear, almost like the color is pulled to the fiber by a magnet. That blew my mind. They even displayed the difference between how protein fibers soak in color versus plant fibers. The protein fibers achieve those deep, rich tones, while plant-based yarns like cotton or linen take on a softer pastel shade because the dye just doesn't bind the same way. And here's something really special. They can custom dye yarn just for you, tailored to whatever project you can dream up. And that's the magic of a local yarn shop like this one. You're not just buying yarn, you're experiencing the artistry, the science, and the personal touch that you just can't get anywhere else. Their most popular yarn currently is this gorgeous Surrey Silk DK. It's a DK weight with 90% baby Surrey alpaca and 10% silk. And I got the color Neptune, and my plan is to knit the Grand Manche cardigan by Amanda Kafta, which they had on display. But the owner said her favorite is the Studio DK that they specially dyed for the yarn crawl. The colorway is called Three Sisters, and it's a combination of rust, corals, and greens, and it is truly stunning. That was incredible. This was so much more than just walking through a yarn shop and looking at all the pretty yarns. This really was a lesson in dyeing and learning all about the differences between protein fibers and plant fibers and how they take dye. My mind is blown. But now I'm starving and I need to go grab some lunch, and we have another yarn shop that is really close.
Starting route to Charlotte Yarn. Head west on Griffith Road.
Hi, I'm Remy with Charlotte Yarn. Welcome to our store. We are the oldest yarn store in Charlotte, and we are so happy to share our shop with you, so stop by.
Charlotte Yarn is truly the OG of the Charlotte area yarn crawl. They first opened their doors in 2005, and this year they're celebrating an incredible 20 years in business. And there's a very good reason they've been so successful for so long. Every time I visited, the shop is alive with activity. I've never been inside without seeing something happening. A class in session, crocheters and knitters gathered around chatting, or customers happily browsing their extensive yarn collection. What makes it even more special is how personal it feels. Remy, the owner, seems to know each and every person who walks through the door, greeting them like old friends. The atmosphere has a warm southern city vibe, friendly, bustling, and full of color. And if you love color, this is the place to be. The shelves are stocked not only with classic favorites, but also with fresh new yarns that spark inspiration. Another thing thing that really stands out here is their thriving class schedule. There's truly something for everyone, from beginner crochet and knitting classes to advanced techniques and project-based workshops. It's a perfect example of what local yarn shops do best. They don't just sell yarn, they create a place to learn, connect, and be part of a vibrant community. One of the most popular yarns at Charlotte Yarn is Malabrigo sock. I'm on a bit of a sock knitting kick right now, and I got the colors Remy Celebration, which is a specially dyed yarn just for Charlotte Yarn, and the color Fuchsia. These are incredibly bright and bold colors and so squishy soft. But the owner Remy's favorite is their very own brand called Yarn in the City. This is a gorgeous sock weight yarn that's 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, and 10% nylon. And I got the color Julie's Jam and Jelly, and I love those purples. That was so much fun. I got some gorgeous yarns, and now it's time for us to head to the next yarn shop, and it's going to be a pretty good drive, so we gotta go.
Starting route to Wicked Stitches and so much more. Proceed to East Boulevard, then take the first right.
It's almost 3 o'clock, but we are at the 4th yarn shop. This is Wicked Stitches and so much more, and I can't wait to go inside.
Hi everyone, welcome. My name is Andrea Turner and this is my store, Wicked Stitches and so much more. And I decided on Wicked Stitches a long time ago, and for those of you who are gonna ask, I am not a witch. Although I do tell people it depends on the day and it depends on the situation. We all have those days.
Wicked Stitches and so much more is the newest yarn shop on the tour, and this was their very first year participating in the Charlotte area yarn crawl. Tucked away in Denver, North Carolina, this shop has such a welcoming small town vibe in the best way. It feels cozy and warm the moment you walk in, with shelves lined in a beautiful selection of yarns that make you want to reach out and touch everything. What really sets Wicked Stitches apart though is that they're not just about yarn. They also carry a gorgeous selection of fabrics. Now, I had to force myself not to linger too long in that section because, as tempting as those bolts were, I keep reminding myself I absolutely do not need another hobby. That's one of the joys of discovering new local yarn shops. Each one has its own personality and unique mix of offerings. Wicked Stitches shows us that creativity comes in so many forms, and having yarn and fabric under one roof makes it a true haven for makers of all kinds. One of the most popular yarns at Wicked Stitches is Unique, which is a DK Superwash Extra Fine Merino wool. I got a skein in a gorgeous combination of purples, yellows, greens, blues, and even oranges. I actually forgot to ask the owner what her favorite yarn was, but I also chose a collection of fingering weight mini skeins called Fino by Manos de Uruguay. They are 70% merino wool and 30% silk, and I got these gorgeous colors of greens and deep purples. What a sweet little store, and every single shop that I've been to, they've been asking where my mom is, and she has come with me on the yarn crawls in previous years, and everybody loves her because she is a character.
Oh, hi. We're recording already.
You call my agent.
Let's just wait a second. So I've got a map, and I also...
I'm gonna keep eating.
Granny's gonna keep eating her ice cream.
But she just had knee replacement surgery, so this was just gonna be too much for her. So we are heading to our next to last shop. This one is Hearts on Fiber in Davidson, North Carolina, so we gotta go.
Starting route to Hearts on Fiber. Proceed to North End C16 Business Highway, then take the first right.
It's 4:16, and we just made it to our 5th yarn shop, and this is Hearts on Fiber in Davidson, North Carolina. This is such a cute yarn shop. I cannot wait to share it with you. And I have to pee so bad, so I hope they have a restroom that I can use. It's been a long day.
Awesome. I did my hair today because of Wicked. I'm going to see Wicked, and I was like, ooh, so exciting.
It looks gorgeous.
Okay, so hi, I am Kim Clark at Hearts on Fiber. What am I supposed to say? We are in Davidson, North Carolina, and we have been around for 6 years, and this is actually our 6th yarn crawl too. Isn't it crazy?
That is crazy.
Yeah.
There's something really special about Hearts on Fiber in Davidson, North Carolina. First, it's an incredibly gorgeous space. It's light and airy, and it's filled with the most gorgeous yarns. It's a very hip and cool place, but at the same time, it's incredibly warm and welcoming. They carry all the big yarn brands that you would expect to see, but they also dye their own yarns and come out with the most fun collections. They just did a Taylor Swift collection, and I literally got the very last hank. The shop is always busy and active with people hanging out to crochet, knit, and even spin. They also hold classes and summer camps for kids. But one thing I was really excited about is that they are buying yarn from crocheters and knitters who want to de-stash. Then they are reselling the yarn for a great discount. What's really cool about this is that you're going to find all different kinds of yarns in the used yarn section. You'll find hand-dyed deals, but you'll also discover yarns that you only find in big box craft stores. It's such a smart and sustainable idea, and another example of how local yarn shops keep our craft both accessible and exciting. The most popular current yarn at Hearts on Fiber is their Taylor Swift hand-dyed collection, and like I said before, I got the very last skein. Each hank was dyed to match her album covers, and I can see why it was so popular. I got the Life of a Showgirl, which is on a copper sparkle base. It's a sock weight yarn, 70% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and 10% stellina, which gives it that metallic sparkle. These are beautifully subtle colors in silver, blue, and gray with vibrant pops of pink. What I found really interesting is the owner Kim's favorite, and that's Queensland Coastal Cotton. This is a beautiful 100% worsted weight cotton, and it's a gorgeous soft skein in the color Sunrise Beach. Every time I leave Hearts on Fiber, I just feel happy. There's just something really special about that shop, but it is 4:53 right now, and I'm going to try to make it to the last shop. It's the one that's closest to my house, so if they're not open by the time I get there, I can go tomorrow, but I would really like to get there today. So let's go.
Starting route to the Clucking Hen Yarnery. Head southwest on South Village Lane, then turn left onto South Main Street.
I think we made it. It's 5:35 right now, and I think they close at 7 o'clock, but let's go see. The Clucking Hen Yarnery in Concord, North Carolina is unlike any other stop on the yarn crawl. This shop is full of personality with a lively, eclectic atmosphere that reflects the energy of its owner. Everywhere you look, there are yarns, notions, and surprises tucked into every corner. It feels a bit like a treasure hunt where you never know what you're going to discover next. What I really appreciate is how much passion is poured into the shop. You can tell that the owner is brimming with enthusiasm for all things fiber, and that joy spills out into the space itself. Local yarn shops like the Clucking Hen Yarnery remind us that every store has its own character, and that's what makes visiting them so fun. You're not just shopping for yarn, you're experiencing a creative space that's completely one of a kind. One of the most popular yarns at the Clucking Hen Yarnery is String Theory Orbit. I was instantly drawn to this sport weight yarn. It's 80% superwash merino and 20% nylon. This is a self-striping yarn, and I love all these bold colors. The owner wasn't there to ask what her favorite yarn is, but I also picked up another customer favorite, and that's Utopia. This is a gorgeous sport weight yarn, and it's 100% blue-faced Leicester wool in the color Old English Rose. This was my third time attending the Charlotte area yarn crawl, but this year felt different in the best way possible. Every yarn shop has always had its own vibe, but this time I felt like I was able to see their personality shine through even more clearly. Before going on the yarn crawl, I was convinced that many of the same yarns were going to pop up, especially in the customer favorite category. But each and every shop had their own favorites, from the customers to the owners. And that's the magic of a local yarn shop. They're more than just places to buy yarn, and being able to experience that across 6 different shops in one day reminded me just how special it is to be part of this fiber community. We did it! We got to all 6 yarn shops, and that was a blast. Now I need to go home. I need some food. I need to put my feet up, but boy, this was a really fun day. And thank you so much for coming along with me, and let me know which yarn shop was your favorite. But I hope you have a great rest of your week. Stay safe and happy stitching.